The respected Comrade Kim Jong visited the Fatherland Liberation War Martyrs Cemetery together with war veterans on the occasion of the 71st anniversary of the great victory in the war. Boundless respects of all the people of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea greeting the great victory day are extended to the Fatherland Liberation War Martyrs Cemetery at the foot of Mount Sokbak, where the dignified flaggers of a powerful state and the Workers' Party of Korea embrace the heroic war martyrs in their immortal images. Solemnly recalling the revolutionary spirit of the defenders of the country in the 1950s, who provided the immortal glory and honor of heroic Korea and its heroic people, senior state officials, commanding officers of the People's Army, working people, and new generations, including students of revolutionary schools and nursing students, together with war veterans, visit the cemetery with beautiful flowers in their hands. Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, visited the Fatherland Liberation War Martyrs Cemetery on the morning of July the 26th on the occasion of the 71st anniversary of victory in the Fatherland Liberation War. The Guard of Honor of the Korean People's Army lined up at the cemetery, recollecting with deep emotion the immortal heroic spirit and noble self-sacrifice of the victorious wartime generation who devoted their youth and lives to their greatest and sacred motherland. Kim Jong-un laid a flower before the cemetery and paid a high tribute to the martyrs. A gun salute was fired in memory of the Fatherland Liberation War martyrs. Kim Jong-un went round the cemetery together with war veterans. He said all the first defenders of the DPRK who brought about the miracle of July the 27th were ardent revolutionaries with noble ideas, beautiful hopes and ambitions, and genuine heroes and true patriots as they wrote a legendary chapter of history of resistance admired by the whole world with their warm blood and opened up a bright future of the Korean Revolution. Saying the credit for today's socialist Korea demonstrating its glory as the most dignified and independent, invincible power goes to the immortal victory of July the 27th, the great wartime generation won for the times and history by devoting all their precious things. He stressed that Korean-style socialism will always win victory when the victorious wartime generation's steadfast spirit of defending the country and the revolution is invariably carried forward by dint of the invincible might peculiar to our state and people. It is the sacred mission and duty of our generation to firmly safeguard our ideology and social system defended by the victorious wartime generation at the cost of blood, and build the people's paradise where the happiness of posterity is guaranteed on this land associated with the noble soul of the foreigners, he said, expressing his full determination to continue to write the history of the powerful country, which will shine as a great journey for succession and prosperity. Looking around the cemetery with humble reverence, the participants laid flowers at the martyrs' graves with their pledge to creditably inherit the noble soul and spirit of the heroes who advanced for victory, shouting hurrah for the leader and the country at every battlefield of the fierce Fatherland Liberation War, decisive of the destiny of the country, and provided a solid foundation of a republic even in the upheavals of history. Fireworks were set off on the meaningful July day as a reflection of the noble respect to the victors in the great years and the indomitable fighting will of the successors to carry forward the history of war victory of Juche Korea forever. The heroic spirit of the victorious wartime generation will be steadily carried forward for all ages, and the victory will shine forever in history as the eternal symbol of Korea under the leadership of the great Comrade Kim Jong-un, the very incarnation of the absolute strength and the ever-victorious banner of our powerful state. The respected Comrade Kim Jong-un visited the Revolutionary Martyrs Cemetery on Mount Taesong on the occasion of the Victory Day. Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, visited the Revolutionary Martyrs Cemetery on Mount Taesong together with members of the Central Leadership Body of the Workers' Party of Korea on the afternoon of July the 26th on the occasion of the 71st anniversary of victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War. The Guard of Honor of the Korean People's Army lined up at the cemetery. On behalf of the party and the government, Kim Jong-un laid a flower at the wreath-laying stand of the cemetery. And together with all the participants, he paid a silent tribute to the memory of the revolutionary martyrs who had devoted their precious lives to the sacred cause of defending the independence and sovereignty of the country. There took place a march past of the Guard of Honor of the Korean People's Army. Kim Jong-un, together with the participants, looked round the cemetery. Recollecting the noble life of the first generation of the revolution who had performed great feats that would go down in history by defeating the two imperialist powers in their generation with absolute loyalty to the ideology and leadership of President Kim Il-sung, he placed flowers in front of the busts of Oh Jin-woo, Kim Il, Choi Chung-guk, Kang Gun, Kim Chek, An Gil, Ryu Kyung-soo, and Choi Hyun. She said the fighters still live in the hearts of the descendants as strong pillars as they prove the eternal truth in the long and bloody anti-Japanese war and under the shadow of bullets during the Fatherland Liberation War, that the great strength of single-hearted unity between the leader and the people and the indomitable spiritual power of the army and people who keep the validity of their cause as their face can bring about miracles unprecedented in the world. It is the greatest exploit those martyrs performed for the country and the revolution that they developed the tradition of the victorious anti-Japanese war into the tradition of victory in the anti-imperialist, anti-US struggle and the tradition of eternal victory of Korea, and remarkably amplified the revolutionary spirit of the Baekdu into an ideological spirit of all the people, she said, adding that July the 27th would shine forever as a symbol of immortality of socialist Korea and a synonym of invincibility when all the generations firmly carry forward the spirit of Mount Baekdu and form an integrated whole with one life. He paid a high tribute to the martyrs, praying for the immortality of the soul and spirit of the martyrs who provided the precious ideological and spiritual heritage for our great state and people and created immortal revolutionary traditions. The respected Comrade Kim Jong-un visited the Friendship Tower on the occasion of the Great Victory Day. Kim Jong-un, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and President of the State Affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, visited the Friendship Tower on July the 26th on the occasion of the 71st anniversary of victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War. He was accompanied by Taesong, Foreign Minister of the DPRK, and Kim Song-nam, Director of the International Department of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. A wreath in the name of Kim Jong-un was laid amid the playing of the wrestling music. On the ribbon of the wreath were letters reading, "We will remember the martyrs of the Chinese people's volunteers forever." Kim Jong-un paid a high tribute to the martyrs of the Chinese people's volunteers who helped at the cost of their blood the Korean people in the Revolutionary War for repulsing death-defyingly the brigandish armed invasion of the US imperialists. There was a march past of the Guard of Honor of the Korean People's Army. Kim Jong-un went round the Friendship Tower together with the cadres accompanying him. He said the victory of July the 27th, the peoples of the DPRK and China won in the most difficult period for the DPRK while sharing will and woe in the same trench, is a great victory noteworthy in the human history whose vitality never diminishes despite of the passage of time and change of centuries. Seeing the military feats the officers and men of the Chinese People's Volunteers had performed for the victory of the DPRK would be kept in the minds of the Korean people forever as a gold star symbolic of feats. He expressed belief that the blood-sealed DPRK-China friendship would be firmly carried forward along with the immortal spirits of the martyrs.